Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is Adventures with Plastic Crack mini notes. We're doing part 6 of Dolls of the World collection, and we're on 1983. If you see this slide here that I've got up, you can see part of the box where they've got the stripe and then the name of the country. And then there's a little medallion with a picture. On the previous edition boxes from 1980 to 82, I think the image was more loose. It wasn't like contained in a little circle. These ones are. I think the one on Spain might be the Pyrenees, but I'm not sure. And the one on Sweden looks like a little Viking ship. Also noticed on the Swedish Barbies boxes that the logo looks a little bit wonky compared to where the edge of the cardboard is cut for the window. And it's almost like they took a Spanish box and reskinned it, like painted over it, because it just doesn't quite fit and it looks a little bit off. And I think all of them are like that, so I'm not sure what was going on there. I will say that the 1984 boxes are a little different, and the face paint and accessories start to shift at that point. In 1986, Blue Rhapsody Porcelain Barbie came out, which I think is supposed to be the first like real collector doll. But throughout the late 80s and through, especially through the 90s, doll collecting and Barbie collector dolls just kind of exploded all over the place. There's tons and tons of them. So we'll see the series go from only a couple dolls a year and up until you go through like 91, maybe not, well, especially 93, 94, 95, 96, you'll be seeing at least 4 of these every year. And then some of these images, especially the production images, will show up again in some of the merchandise, like the trading cards. But when I get to the end of the series and do some merch, I'll be showing those. So you'll see some of these images again, but they'll be on a trading card instead of just a loose image. So let me get into this. Hopefully my webcam won't screw up like it did when I tried to record this audio 5 minutes ago. I didn't find variations for these like I did with Eskimo Barbie the previous year, where there's just a bunch of different versions of the package. The only one I found was that the prototype for Spanish Barbie has red shoes instead of black ones. You get these red original style open toe heels here on the prototype. She has the new Spanish face. I think Twirly Curls Barbie came out in 1982. If not, she did come out in 83, and this would have been the first, the first big release deal. But this Hispanic Barbie face was used throughout the 80s for Black Barbie and Hispanic Barbie, and then at the very end of the 80s for Barbie's new friend Teresa. And I only have one of these. I have 1989 Beach Blast Teresa, which is one of the last ones, but this is one of the first ones here. And the production doll here with the box and the back of the box and the sides of the box. There's a castle and a map of Spain with Portugal kind of crossed out in magenta there. Passport. Presumably a Speak Spanish book and some tickets to something that I didn't really read when I did this. And some money down there as well to cut out. And here we can see with this box liner, yellow, more of how obvious it is that her flamenco skirt has a mullet hem. It's longer in the back. And very clearly the superstar strappy heels there with the little thin soft vinyl that have the straps that you have to bend and tuck into each other in the front. Oh, hang on, I just clicked the wrong thing. So here's just some close-ups again. You can see the doll with the shoes on, the black shoes. And the fan is lace, but it has this sort of vinyl bottom to it. She has sort of subtle makeup, but there is like a two-tone thing going on. It's kind of hard to see unless you really zoom in on it. All in all, a pretty nice doll. Very era-specific face, kind of similar to Steffi, but a little more quote-unquote ethnic. Like the nose is a little bit more bulbous and her mouth is closed. Still very much a product of her time. And really kind of a nice doll overall. So then we have Swedish Barbie, which I didn't find any variations for. Again, her box looks just a little bit wonky in that printing. And it says, "Hello, meet Barbie from Sweden and learn about Scandinavia." So her picture on the side panel there is a ship, and then the map is Norway and Sweden and Finland and Denmark. Passport, how to learn the language book, presumably, some ballet tickets, and I think it says ballet on there, and then some paper money. I have this close-up here because I thought it was really interesting about her eye makeup. She has this three-tone blue thing that a lot of dolls throughout the 80s and early 90s had. But I noticed that her eyeshadow is sort of opaque and frosted towards the inside of her eye, and then on the outside it's a darker blue that's translucent, which I don't recall seeing before, and I thought was rather interesting. And having Swedish Barbie in there just gives them an excuse to put a regular superstar face blonde Barbie back into the circulation of the Dolls of the World set. And they do that, you know, on a semi-regular basis just to keep up their whatever it is, their program with that whole thing. And here's the production picture with just a loose picture somebody had that shows the shoes a little bit better. I thought that the braid at the bottom of her dress looked a lot like the braid that they used for the headband for the Michigan convention version of Eskimo Barbie. If you go back and watch that video, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it looks real heckin' similar. It's hella similar, man. So that's it for those dolls. Again, the box starts changing in 1984, and then with that whole collector doll push throughout the late 80s and early 90s, you'll start seeing stuff on the boxes like special edition, collector edition, Dolls of the World collection, and it'll be more noticeable. Here it doesn't say that, but they come with doll stands and very distinct packaging. So next week we're going to be looking at 1984, and you'll see how the boxes start changing just a little bit as we head into the mid-80s. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab and the couple of spare doll parts I've got over on Etsy. Stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.